Hello, my name is Nathalie Schellers, and the study that I would like to present is about learning science with virtual reality. And it investigates the role of its interactive and immersive features. We recently finished the data collection, so today I can share with you the preliminary results. Just a quick remark, we received funding from the Swiss National Science Foundation, and all the other relevant persons and institutions are listed on this slide. Well, why is VR interesting for science learning? In science, there are many topics that consist of unobservable structures and processes. And now, thanks to VR technologies, the learner can not only interact with these unobservable parts, but also immerse into them. And investigating whether the interactive and immersive features of VR really support science learning is the goal of this study. How or why could interaction and immersion support science learning? There are several factors to consider. Here I highlight only the most relevant ones. We think that interaction can benefit learning because we learn causal structures by acting on the world and observing the results. Regarding immersion, the theory of embodied learning suggests that richer sensory motor information is also more deeply processed and therefore better remembered. In the same sense, interaction is also associated with higher embodiment. And finally, when both features are combined, the embodiment should be highest. We expect that both interaction and immersion should increase learning. And finally, when they are combined, we also expect an effect because of the higher embodiment. Now, to test these effects, we conducted an intervention study with school children. They learned about the water cycle and were tested on 3 time points just before the intervention, after the intervention, and after an 8-week period of follow-up. Now, what is special about this study is the combination of a randomized controlled experiment in a field setting, the classroom. So the participants had a full teaching unit, that is here 11 lessons of standardized classroom instruction. And in each of the lessons, they used a virtual medium for a period of 10 to 15 minutes. And here's also where the manipulation is happening. We have the 2 factors, interaction and immersion, and we are doing a 2x2 between designs, so each of the participants only experiences one of the conditions. How exactly did we do that? Regarding the factor immersion, we distinguish between desktop VR and immersive VR. So here we are using laptops and headphones and mouse. And here we have the Oculus 2 headset and controllers. Regarding interaction, we have active conditions where the users can act themselves. On the other hand, in the passive conditions, they can only watch the non-player character perform the same actions. In possible interactions where, for example, like here, sliding up and down the temperature, ambient temperature, and here it is done with mouse, here with the controller, and here we can only watch. What is the same for everyone? The environment is the same, all the story and everything that is happening. And they also, all of the conditions were able to look around actively. Here by mouse, and here just by moving the head. Our sample consisted of 150 participants in total. They were 10 to 13 years old. And all participants were recruited from the same primary school, from the grades 5 and 6. And here each grade was randomly assigned to one of the conditions. So we have the following distribution of sample sizes across conditions. For each measurement point, pre-test, post-test, and follow-up tests, we have the same knowledge test. It consisted of 38 affirmations, and they could be rated with I agree, I disagree, or I don't know. Now, our results. The expectations that we had were partially confirmed. There was a significant positive effect of immersion, meaning that in general, the conditions using IVR compared to DVR increased learning significantly. Here we see the effects of immersion on learning over the 3 time points, pre, post, follow up. And the thin lines represent the actual data of the individuals, and the thick lines are the estimated means of the model. So by the transition of the blue line, we can see the benefit that immersion has over here, the red line DVR. To sum up, we found initial evidence for the benefit of immersion in a full teaching unit of science education in primary school. And for the future, we plan to relate these findings to other cognitive and affective outcomes, such as satisfaction with the learning or cognitive load. We also plan to further clarify the contributions of interaction and immersion, but now in a more controlled setting using the same application, but a very short sequence, and this way confirm the results. Thank you for your attention and goodbye. Oh, die Slide.